Now we're bringing you in-depth coverage on the charter school debate that's going on at the State House right now. Who better to talk about it than someone incredibly well educated on this issue, WPRI.com reporter Dan McGowan. So Dan, Rhode Island lawmakers, they're set to consider several different bills that would slow the growth of charter schools in the state. So let's kind of go over them right now. A lot of the times these issues are unions versus non-union individuals and organizations. The unions aren't necessarily playing a role this time, though. Yeah, it's not the typical fight that we have, when it comes down to charter schools. Right now, this is all about funding, and the key thing to know here is that the state passed a law in 2010, the fair funding formula, that basically says that money follows students in any given district across the state. The problem with that for traditional school districts is that when a student goes to a charter school, that money follows them from the traditional school to the charter school, but the fixed costs, so pension costs or facility costs, things like that, do not follow the child, right? Because they stay in a given school district. And that's the whole issue right now that's being debated. I think it's probably a little confusing for some people. So if we can go over it just a little bit, I mean, what exactly do the bills do that are being presented? Sure, right so now? There's two major bills to focus on. One we call the local control bill, and basically it would require cities and towns, city and town councils to approve any expansion or any new charter school in the state. And critics say that's essentially going to kill any future ability of a charter to expand or to grow. And then on the flip side, the other bill is essentially, it basically focuses on funding. The idea is that the districts would not be able to, or I'm sorry, charter schools would not be able to expand based on, until the Board of Education kind of gives a fiscal note that says this wouldn't hurt cities and towns. So. Very interesting. Okay, so let's go over the governor's stance on this, because ultimately anything that's passed would go to her desk. That's right. She's very interesting. She said very clearly she couldn't possibly sign these bills into law. Doesn't mean they wouldn't pass. She could, of course, just decide not to sign them, let them pass without her signature. She hasn't said there's a possibility she could veto the bill, of course, but she hasn't said that yet. So. All right, very interesting. Thanks. Thank you very much, Dan. We'll keep following this, no doubt about that. And our in-depth coverage continues online at WPRI.com. Dan's compiled a complete overview of the charter school debate that includes 9 important facts that you do need to know about this.